This is the Canadian Country Showcase. Here's Courtney Fielder.
Joined here today by multi-award-winning artist. So excited to have her joining me here on the Canadian Country Showcase. Joining us, we have Carolyn Dawn Johnson. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to chat with me today.
I am so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, I know a lot of your fans, myself included, so excited about your brand new single out to Canadian Country Radio right now called Roadblocks. What can you tell us about this one?
Roadblocks is a fun introduction to a whole album that I've been making. And I decided that I wanted Roadblocks to be first because it was just sort of talking about kicking the doors down or kicking the roadblocks down or just getting through things in life that maybe have stopped you from doing the things you wanted to do or from you being you. In my case, from me being me. And so I kind of wanted to let the audience know that, hey, I know you haven't heard any new music from me for a while, but I've had a few roadblocks. But guess what? We're gonna keep going.
That's awesome. And you know what, like you were saying too, like not only for yourself, like you said, having those roadblocks, but for people that are listening to this song that are maybe going through some of those roadblocks or have had those in the past, like it's a song that you can relate to so easily.
Yes, that's what I am hoping. I'm hoping that the song inspires other people because everyone has some sort of roadblock at some point in their life. And they, sometimes it's like to stop you from going in a place that's not necessarily good. So it's like, it's a good thing it happens, or it causes you to do a detour or whatever it is. Usually they direct you in some sort of way that seems to be better when you get to the other side of it.
I totally agree. And I love that you mentioned too, this is the first of many new songs still to come from you.
Yes, it is. I've got like a 12-song album that I'm working on. It's almost done. I'm still in the thick of it, but I've got to get the rest of it mixed. And it'll be out hopefully by the end of February, if not sometime the beginning of March.
Oh, that's awesome. How does it feel for you to be working on like a whole new collection of music?
It's been invigorating. I have been wanting to do this for a while, and I started a record about 6 years ago, and a lot of stuff started happening in my life and everything got kind of pushed to the side, and I just couldn't get there. So I've been really anxious to make some new music for quite a while. So actually being in the studio, I was like kind of tentative when I was going in there because I just felt like, can I even do this anymore? But as I got my strength back and got my confidence back and was like, okay, I remember who I am. Then once I got in there, pure joy. Let me just say that. Just like, oh my gosh, of course, this is where I belong. And there's, a full spectrum of different kinds of stories and subject matters on this record. I honestly wish I could make a record with 50 songs on it because there's so much I want to say, but it's this collection and it's been very, very enjoyable and heartwarming. And I feel like I'm a better person when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like I'm just happier for everyone else and including me. And this music has been doing that.
Oh, that is so awesome to hear. In addition to working on your own music, you're busy as a songwriter as well. You actually just had a cut from Chris Stapleton.
Yeah. So how crazy is that? Such a blessing. I've written quite a few songs with Chris, and, he pulled this one out of our collection of things and put it on this album. We actually wrote it quite a few years ago. And so it was a surprise for me and a surprise to a lot of his co-writers on this record. Like he keeps things pretty close to the vest, and until it's like really ready to come out, he doesn't really let anybody know. Cause I think he's, I actually know this feeling as an artist when I'm putting a record together. I almost don't want to tell my co-writers and stuff because a song could fall off. It might not actually make it when it comes down to the very end of making something. Like if it doesn't get to its fullest potential, sometimes those songs will fall off. And so you don't want to like get someone's hopes up and then yank it out from underneath them. So when I found out, and basically he posted his album cover And I've been kind of hoping that someday he would cut this song because I knew it was a special one for both of us. And, album after album, I didn't see it happen. And then when I saw it on the front of his cover, because he put all the album titles on it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. And I went and saw him with George Strait shortly after. And I was like, oh my gosh, Chris, thank you so much. I went backstage and talked with him and his wife because they're old friends.
Yeah.
And he was like, CDJ, it's always been a great song. And so we had, a sweet time with that. And then I didn't really announce it to anybody or anything. I played it a couple times at writers' nights just before it came out. And then once it actually came out, I felt like, okay, it's for real. Now I'm going to actually let people know that this happened. And so that was a beautiful feeling to get to tell the world out there that I'm part of this incredible artist's album.
Oh, that is amazing.
Have been wanting to, and I probably will do this after this cycle of this album. I've really been wanting to do either an acoustic version or a stripped down version of my version of a lot of those songs that other people have recorded or that I've co-written with them. And so when and if I do that, do my version, because here's the good thing about other people cutting my songs, which is difficult to make happen, by the way. It's not easy, but I've been writing professionally for 25 years. So you just keep writing, and then something pops, something lands, something this, something that. And so because I'm a co-writer on some of these things, I get to perform them in my shows. Why not? I'm part of it. I do single white female all the time because Shelley Wright took that all the way to the top. And as far as I'm concerned, that's my hit too, right? Because it is. So I get to do that in my shows, which is so fun. So at some point I want to do an album where it's just covering things that other people have sang that I helped write with them or for them.
Oh, that is awesome. That would be so good. Like, I know so many of your fans would be pumped to hear something like that.
Thank you. I hope so. I think so.
Taking a step back here to your brand new single, Roadblocks, I seen that you just dropped the lyric video for this one, which looks like you had a lot of fun with this one.
I did. I had this vision for a video of me driving a car and busting through these roadblocks, but I knew that I couldn't actually do that with a real car and real roadblocks. So, and I'm not telling people go out to the road and go through roadblocks. I'm really talking about the mental roadblocks, right? So things that are happening. So I didn't want to be like breaking the law or anything, but I could do that in a lyric video where it shows me smashing through these things and not wreck an actual beautiful car. So that was my idea. I wanted to put on that lyric video roadblocks that were actually personally mine. There's a lot of them on there. As I was going through my list, I'm like going, okay, well, this kind of, a lot of those things are like things that are inside your mind, but things that have like made you have a misstep, made you have like some pause, made you get, grief and sad, and you had to pick yourself back up. So that particular lyric video is a lot of vulnerability for me while having fun.
That's awesome. Well, we won't keep you too much longer here, Carolyn Dawn Johnson. If there is one thing that you could say to folks ahead of listening to your brand new single, Roadblocks, what is that one thing that you want them to take in as they're listening to the song?
I want them to take in that, when life hits you with things, just know you can get through them. Take some time and believe in yourself and listen to that inner voice and let it guide you. And sometimes it's just one step in front of the other. And when you listen to this song, crank it loud and imagine yourself, get in a power pose and, find that strength with this song, crank it, have fun, get inspired, and go out there and take on the world.
You heard it from Carolyn Dawn Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And is there anything you want to say to your fans that are listening in? They're just so excited to have new music back from you.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for listening. I'm excited for you to hear the rest of the album. And this is a fun rockin' song. I've got some of those heart jerkers as well that I know that I can do. Some very real songs on this record. I can't wait to play it for you. I'm really hoping to get out and tour all year next year. I hope to see you out there, and just thank you for the love.
The best homegrown country from coast to coast. It's the Canadian Country Showcase with Courtney Fielder.